Hello and welcome to the dojo. This is lesson 1, episode 1. If you need a link to the written guide, that's down in the description. We're going to be practicing our movement combined with our offense. What that's going to do is create a better neutral game for us. It's going to give us the foundation that we need to find combos, to find openings, and really control the pace of the game. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to set up the training room. We're going to bring up the options. We're going to toggle show damage to on. Then we're going to go over here to the bot settings. We're going to switch to control mode bot. We're going to run the bot, in this case Bodvar, right into the center. We're going to turn on damage reset and position reset, and then go back to control mode player. Now we're going to find the range and the spacing of dash forward into the sword attacks. The reason that this is good is because you can just cover a lot more space a lot quicker. You'll be able to whiff punish people's signatures with combos. You'll be able to increase your range of threat. If you're playing kind of this footsie spacing game in neutral, you'll be able to do things like dash in into end light. So after you get comfortable finding these different ranges on the forward dash, you want to experiment with the backwards dash too, because forwards dash and backwards dash are different. Backwards dash isn't going to have you go as far. You also can't immediately jump out of a back dash. There's a slight delay until you can jump. When you forward dash, you can jump immediately on the same frame that you input the dash. You can press the jump button. So looking at these dash backs, one of the useful ones will be down light. So, that's going to be your combo starter, which we're going to go over in the second lesson. But for now, just be very comfortable finding this spacing. We're going to look at the spacing for the hammer as well. Dash into side light is really good for controlling grounded space. This hitbox is big, the move comes out quick. It's hard for a lot of weapons to contest hammer's side light. Then of course, dash into downlight is going to be your combo starter. And neutral light is really good. It can pick up spot dodges, and when the opponent's at deep red, it'll also get you knockouts. After you become comfortable with all this spacing on the forward dash, you're going to want to find the back dash spacing as well, just like you did with the sword. Backdash into side light is going to be really, really difficult. You can see, because it doesn't hit the opponent when you're right on top of them. So that's just something that you want to pay attention to. Once you've found that grounded spacing, you're going to want to practice your dash jump. So if you hold down and press the dash button, you'll get a forward dash. And then when you jump, since you're holding down, you're not going to give yourself forward momentum. It'll look like this. If I were to hold forward and dash jump, I get that, where I cover a lot more distance. So for right now, we're just going to focus on what happens when you hold down. We're going to do a dash jump into a down air. And that's going to let us approach Bodvar from the air very quickly. Now when we're at this space, we have a lot of options for approaching. We can dash into the end light. We can do the dash jump into the dare. We can even dash in into spot dodge and go through him, look for a combo like that. We want to be very comfortable with our movement. That's the first thing you're going to practice, and that's why we're doing this here in lesson 1 before we get into combos. Find the spacing to land this dash jump down air, and when you get comfortable with that, switch to the hammer, and you're going to be able to do the same thing. Dash jump down air, and again, we see how we have all these different possible ways to approach the opponent. We're able to mix things up really well. Once you get comfortable with the grounded spacing on the dash, bring up the bot settings again and change the AI settings from stand to jump. And then you're going to want to try and find the spacing and the timing to dash jump into side air. When you side air the bot like that, he's not going to reset. So you can bring up the menu and close it to bring him back if you want. You can also experiment with moves like recovery, neutral air, and if you can find the right timing as he's coming back up, you can hit those down airs. And once you're comfortable with these aerial moves, you can move on to trying some of the grounded moves. Try and time it so you dash in and neutral light. You'll find that that's a lot easier than, say, down light, which requires more precise timing. But that's a really good move to be comfortable hitting here. You're gonna be catching opponents in real games who are jumping by dashing in and finding your combo starter. So then the same thing with hammer, find the timing and spacing on your aerials. Neutral air is going to be good to use as well. You can find the dash jump into dare. Then you'll want to practice the grounded moves on hammer as well. You're going to find side light is relatively easy to hit. It's got that enormous hitbox. It doesn't require a whole lot of timing. Neutral light is also going to be easier than your down light. It has that long lingering hitbox. Downlight's going to be the hardest of the three to hit, but it is your combo starter, so it is important that you're able to do that. When you're comfortable with all of the light attacks, you should check out the signatures as well. In situations where, for example, a dash into end light won't reach, you can dash into side sig, and that's good for closing distance at the end of a stock. If you have someone in red from working them with your light attacks, you haven't done a signature all game and they're trying to get out of your range, you can close that distance with a side sig a lot of the time. The down sig into after your dash is really good near the ledge. It spikes them downward, so you can cover a surprising amount of distance and get someone trying to come back up. The neutral sig is a little bit more awkward out of dash. You'll be using the other two a lot more, but you should still get comfortable with finding the spacing where it connects. Take a peek at the hammer sigs as well. So the side sig isn't quite as good as the sword side sig. You don't have the forward lunge that the sword has, although with the down signature you do keep some of that momentum. And then the neutral sig is pretty good to slide in with a dash, or backwards or forwards. The hitbox hits, a little bit behind Bodvar. It catches them right out of the beginning of a jump. So that move can be really good out of the dash. So to give a quick recap on everything, you should be comfortable with the spacing of forward dash into your combo starters and your neutral lights. You should be comfortable with dash jump into down air, and you should be able to do this on both of the weapons every single time without any problems. And when you're all comfortable with this level of movement, we're going to be ready to learn some combos on lesson 2.